Taeyang wiped the grease from his hands and stared at the bottom of his cargo ship. Something was wrong. Very wrong. The hull readings showed extra weight that should not be there. His ship, the Wanderer, was old but reliable. He knew every bolt and wire on this vessel. This weight was new. He floated in his spacesuit beneath the ship. The stars stretched out in every direction, beautiful and cold. He had docked at the repair station 3 hours ago for routine maintenance. Now he floated alone in the dark, checking every panel. Then he saw it. Chains, massive chains wrapped around something beneath his hull. They glowed with a strange blue light. Taeyang's heart raced. He pushed closer with his suit thrusters. The chains were not normal metal. They looked ancient, covered in symbols he did not recognize. What were they attached to? He moved along the hull, following the chains. They led to a large section he rarely checked, the cargo bay's underside. There, pressed against the metal, was something alive. It looked like a dragon from old Earth stories. But this was real. Its scales were deep purple and black. They shimmered even in the darkness of space. The creature was huge, at least 20 meters long. Its eyes were closed. Was it dead? Taeyang's radio crackled. "Boss, you okay down there?" It was Mina, his only crew member. She handled navigation and communications. "I'm fine," Taeyang said. His voice shook a little. "But you need to see this." "See what?" "Just come down here, bring the camera." 10 minutes later, Mina floated beside him. She was silent for a long moment, then she whispered, "What is that?" "I don't know." "But it's chained to our ship. How long has it been there?" "I have no idea." They stared at the creature. Taeyang noticed something. The chains were digging into the dragon's body. In some places, the scales were damaged. This thing was suffering. Suddenly, the dragon's eyes opened. They were gold, bright gold. They stared directly at Taeyang. A voice filled his head, not through the radio, inside his mind. "Human," the voice said. It was deep and tired. "You can see me." Taeyang nearly jumped out of his suit. "Did you hear that?" he asked Mina. "Hear what?" The voice came again. "Only you hear me, mechanic. I speak through thought." Taeyang's hands were shaking. "What are you?" he thought back. "I am Hanul. I am what your people call a star dragon. I have been prisoner for 300 years. 300 years? Yes. The Dominion Empire captured me. They wanted me to fight in their wars. I refused, so they chained me with void chains. These chains cannot be broken by strength. They can only be removed by choice." Mina touched Taeyang's arm. "Boss, you're just floating there. What's wrong?" "It's talking to me," Taeyang said. "The dragon. It's talking inside my head." Mina's eyes went wide behind her helmet. "What's it saying?" Taeyang explained everything. Mina listened carefully. She was always calm in strange situations. That was why he hired her 3 years ago. "So someone chained this thing to our ship?" Mina asked. "When?" "I do not know when." Hanul's voice came again in Taeyang's mind. "I was unconscious. The Dominion moves me from ship to ship. They hide me this way. Your vessel was in a crowded port 6 months ago. That is likely when they attached me." 6 months? Taeyang thought. "I've been flying with you for 6 months?" "Yes, I have been sleeping, trying to conserve energy. But today I felt your presence. You have a different energy than other species. It woke me." Taeyang looked at Mina. "It's been here for 6 months. The Dominion put it there." "The Dominion?" Mina's voice went cold. "The empire that controls half the galaxy?" "Yes. We need to leave, right now. If they find out we know about this—" "Wait," Taeyang said. He looked at the dragon's eyes. Even through his helmet, he could feel the pain there. "Can I help you?" he thought to Hanul. "No one can help me. The chains require a choice. Someone must choose to free me, knowing they will face consequences. The Dominion has made sure no one will make that choice. They spread fear across the galaxy. What kind of consequences? Death, imprisonment, destruction of everything you love. They are not forgiving. Taeyang floated there. He thought about his life. He was just a mechanic, a nobody. He fixed ships and carried cargo, nothing special. His parents died when he was young. He had no family, just Mina and this old ship. But he looked at those gold eyes. He saw the suffering. 300 years of pain. "Boss," Mina said, "we should go inside, talk about this." Taeyang nodded. They returned to the ship. Inside, Taeyang removed his helmet. His black hair was soaked with sweat. Mina sat across from him in the small kitchen area. "You're thinking about freeing it," Mina said. "I can see it on your face." "Maybe. That's insane. The Dominion will kill us. Maybe they won't find out. They always find out. They control everything, Taeyang. Everything." He knew she was right. The Dominion Empire had ruled for 1,000 years. They had the biggest fleet, the most weapons, the best technology. They crushed anyone who opposed them. But Taeyang could not stop thinking about those eyes, about 300 years of pain. "What if it was you?" he asked Mina. "What if you were chained there for 300 years? Mina was quiet. She looked down at her hands. "That's not fair." "I know. We have a good life here, safe, quiet. Why risk it?" "Because it's the right thing to do." Mina laughed. It was not a happy laugh. "The right thing? Since when does doing the right thing matter in this galaxy? Look around. Everyone survives by keeping their head down, by following the rules." "I know." They sat in silence. Outside, the dragon waited, suffering, alone. Finally, Mina stood up. "If you do this, I'm with you. You know that, right? I won't run. We're crew." Taeyang felt something warm in his chest. "Thank you." "Don't thank me. We're probably going to die." "Probably." Taeyang put his helmet back on. He went outside again, alone this time. He floated to the dragon's face. Those gold eyes watched him. "Haniol," he thought, "if I free you, what happens? I do not know. I have been chained for so long. My power may be gone, or it may return. I cannot promise anything." "Will you hurt us?" "No. I do not hurt those who show kindness. That is why I was imprisoned. I refuse to hurt the innocent." Taeyang made his decision. "How do I free you?" "Touch the main chain, the one around my neck. Speak your choice clearly. The magic will know your intent." Taeyang moved to the largest chain. It was thicker than his arm. The blue light pulsed. He placed his gloved hand on it. "I choose to free you," he said out loud. "I choose this knowing the consequences. I choose this because it's right." The chain grew hot. Then it cracked. Light exploded outward. All the chains shattered at once. They fell away into space, dissolving into blue smoke. The dragon moved for the first time in 300 years. It stretched its wings. They were massive, beautiful. They caught the starlight. Hanoel's voice filled Taeyang's mind, but this time it was different, stronger, full of life. "Thank you, human. You have given me back my freedom. I will not forget this." The dragon flew away from the ship. It circled once, twice. Then it returned and landed gently on the hull. "I will stay with you," Hanoel said. "You freed me. I owe you my life. But more than that, you showed me something I thought was gone from this galaxy." "What's that?" "Compassion." Taeyang watched the dragon rest on his ship. He wondered what he had just started. Whatever it was, there was no going back now. The repair station sensors detected the energy burst. Alarms started ringing. Taeyang knew they had minutes, maybe less, before station security arrived. He rushed back inside the ship. "Mina, start the engines. We're leaving now." Mina was already at the controls. Her fingers flew across the panel. Already on it, but we have a problem. What? That dragon is on our hull. If we jump to hyperspace with it out there, Hanil's voice entered Taeyang's mind. I can survive hyperspace, mechanic. I have traveled between stars for thousands of years. Go. They are coming. Taeyang relayed the message. Mina nodded and pushed the engines to full power. The Wanderer pulled away from the station. Behind them, security ships were launching, small and fast. They're hailing us, Mina said. Ignore it. They're saying we released a dangerous prisoner. They're ordering us to stop. How long until we can jump? 30 seconds. The security ships opened fire. Not to destroy, but to disable. Energy bolts flew past the Wanderer. One hit the rear shield. The ship shook. 20 seconds, Mina said. Her voice was steady, but Taeyang could see the fear in her eyes. More ships were coming. Bigger ones. Military vessels. The Dominion must have been watching the station. 10 seconds. A large bolt hit their engine. Sparks flew from the control panel. Mina cursed and rerouted power. 5 seconds. Come on, Taeyang whispered. Come on. Jump! Space twisted. The stars became lines. Then nothing. They were in hyperspace. Safe for now. Mina slumped in her chair. We just made enemies with the Dominion Empire. I know. They'll hunt us forever. I know. She looked at him. Was it worth it? Taeyang thought about the dragon's eyes, the pain, the 300 years of suffering. Yes, it was worth it. Mina smiled a little. You're crazy, but I respect that. They flew for 3 hours in hyperspace. When they dropped out, they were in an empty system. No planets, no stations, just rocks and dust. Hanil was still on the hull. Taeyang suited up and went outside. The dragon watched him approach. Thank you for staying, Taeyang thought. I told you I would. But we must talk about what comes next. The Dominion will not stop. They will search every corner of the galaxy for us. I figured. You do not seem afraid. Taeyang laughed. I'm terrified. But what's done is done. The dragon's eyes studied him. You are different from other humans I have met. Most are afraid of the unknown, afraid of risk. But you chose to help me anyway. My parents taught me something before they died. They said that the measure of a person is not what they do when it's easy. It's what they do when it's hard. Wise words. They floated together in silence. Then Taeyang asked, What are you exactly? You said you're a star dragon. What does that mean? Hanil's voice became softer. My people are old. Older than most species in this galaxy. We were here before the Dominion, before the great empires. We traveled the stars freely, exploring and learning. We did not interfere with other species. We simply existed. What happened? War. The Dominion rose to power through conquest. They wanted weapons. They discovered that my people had abilities they could use. We can manipulate energy, move through space without ships, survive in any environment. We are powerful. But you refuse to fight. Yes, my kind believes that power should protect, not destroy. We refuse to become soldiers, so the Dominion hunted us. One by one, they captured my people. They experimented on some, killed others. Some they chained like me, and used as tools. Taeyang felt anger rise in him. That's horrible. That is the way of empires. They take what they want. They destroy what they cannot control. How many of your kind are left? I do not know. When I was captured, there were perhaps 20 of us still free. That was 300 years ago. There may be none left now. The sadness in Hanil's voice made Taeyang's chest hurt. I'm sorry. Do not be sorry. You gave me hope. For the first time in 3 centuries, I feel hope. Mina's voice came through the radio. Boss, we have a problem. What now? I'm picking up a distress signal. It's close, maybe an hour away. Taeyang looked at Hanul. Should we check it out? That is your choice. But know this. If we help others, we draw more attention to ourselves. Taeyang thought about it. He could ignore the signal. Stay hidden. Stay safe. But what kind of person would that make him? Send me the coordinates, he told Mina. Back inside the ship, Taeyang studied the signal. It was weak, automated. Someone's ship was damaged and drifting. Could be a trap, Mina said. Could be. But what if it's real? Then someone needs help. And we're already running from the most powerful empire in the galaxy. What's one more problem? Taeyang smiled. That's the spirit. They traveled to the coordinates. What they found was a small transport ship. Old and battered. It was leaking air. No weapons. No signs of an ambush. I'm detecting one life sign, Mina said. Weak. Taeyang prepared the docking tube. 5 minutes later, he pulled an unconscious alien into the Wanderer. It was a Quellan, a species known for trading. The alien was hurt badly, burns across its arms, a wound in its side. Mina brought the medical kit. Together they worked on the alien. Taeyang was not a doctor, but he knew basic first aid. Every spacer did. They cleaned the wounds and sealed them with medical foam. An hour later, the alien woke up. Its name was Jiho. It spoke through a translator. You saved me, Jiho said. Its voice was raspy. What happened to you? Taeyang asked. Pirates. They attacked my ship, took my cargo, left me to die. Where were you headed? Nowhere now. My ship is destroyed. My cargo is gone. I have nothing. Taeyang and Mina exchanged looks. You can stay with us for now, Taeyang said. We'll drop you at the next station. Jiho's eyes widened. You would do that? For a stranger? Why not? Because no one helps strangers anymore. Not in this galaxy. Everyone looks out for themselves. Well, we're different. Jiho stared at him. Yes, I can see that. Over the next few days, Jiho recovered. The alien was curious about everything, especially about Hanul. The dragon stayed on the hull most of the time, but sometimes it came inside. The cargo bay was big enough for it. I have heard stories of star dragons, Jiho said one evening. They were eating together in the kitchen. But I thought they were myths. They're real, Taeyang said. And you freed one from the Dominion? Yes. Jiho was quiet for a long moment. You are either very brave or very foolish. Maybe both. The Dominion will never stop hunting you. I know. And yet you sit here calm, eating noodles, like you did not just anger the most dangerous force in the galaxy. Taeyang shrugged. Worrying won't change anything. We did what we did. Now we deal with the consequences. Jiho shook its head. Humans are strange. I have traded with many species. But humans, you are different. You do things that make no sense. You risk everything for others. Why? Because it's right. Right? Jiho laughed. What does right matter when you're dead? Mina spoke up. If doing the right thing gets us killed, then at least we died for something. Better than living as cowards. Jiho studied both of them. I think I understand now. This is why humans are feared. Feared? Taeyang asked. We're not powerful. We don't have a big empire. Most species see us as weak. That is where they are wrong. Power is not just weapons and ships. Power is also will, and humans have will like no other species. You do not give up. You do not back down, even when you should. Taeyang had never thought about it that way. But maybe Jiho was right. That night, Hanul spoke to Taeyang privately. The Quellan speaks truth. Your species has something rare. You choose to care even when it hurts you. I have seen many species across the stars. Few have this quality. What will you do now? Taeyang asked. You're free. You could leave, go anywhere. I could, but I will stay with you. Why? Because you remind me of what I lost. My people cared for others. We protected the weak. We stood against darkness, even when it cost us everything. I see that same spirit in you, in Mina. Even in this Quellan you saved. You are building something here, a crew bound not by money or power, but by something greater. What's that? Choice. You choose to do good. That choice is powerful, more powerful than any weapon. Taeyang smiled. Then let's make that choice again and again, until this galaxy remembers what it means to care. Agreed, Hanul said, and I will stand with you, whatever comes. The Dominion fleet found them 3 weeks later. Taeyang had been careful. They only stopped at small, independent stations, places where the Dominion had less control. But it was not enough. 5 ships dropping out of hyperspace, Mina said. Her hands moved fast across the controls. Dominion hunters, they're armed. Taeyang ran to the cockpit. Through the window, he could see the ships, sleek, dark, built for one purpose, to hunt and destroy. How did they find us? Jiho asked. The alien had stayed with them. It had nowhere else to go. Trackers, Taeyang said. They must have put trackers on every ship that docked at that repair station. Hanul's voice filled his mind. I can feel them. They carry weapons designed to hurt my kind. Void cannons. They drain life force. Can we outrun them? Taeyang asked Mina. No. They're faster. We have maybe 10 minutes before they're in firing range. 10 minutes. Taeyang's mind raced. The Wanderer was not a warship. It had basic shields, basic weapons, nothing that could fight 5 military vessels. We need a plan, Mina said. I can fight them, Hanul's voice came. I have recovered some of my strength. I can destroy their ships. No, Taeyang said out loud. No killing. Jiho stared at him. Are you insane? They're trying to kill us. I don't care. We're not killers. Then what do you suggest? Mina asked. We can't fight them. We can't run. What's left? Taeyang looked at the approaching ships. An idea formed. Crazy. Impossible. But maybe it could work. Hanul, can you generate an electromagnetic pulse? Yes. But it would be large. Very large. It could disable everything nearby, including this ship. What if we shield our core systems? Could Mina restart the ship after the pulse? There was silence. Then Mina nodded slowly. Maybe. If I reroute power before the pulse hits. Disconnect the main systems. It would take time, though. And I'd have to be fast to reconnect everything. How much time? To prepare? 5 minutes? To restart after the pulse? Maybe 3 minutes. That's 8 minutes total. We have 10. It could work. Jiho stood up. This is madness. You want to disable your own ship? It's better than killing them. And better than dying. The Dominion will not show you mercy. Then we'll deal with that. But I won't kill people just because they're trying to kill me. There has to be another way. Mina was already working. Her fingers flew across the panels. She was disconnecting systems, creating isolated power cells. Boss, this is crazy, but I trust you. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. If this doesn't work, we're dead. Taeyang suited up and went outside. Hanel was waiting on the hull. The dragon's eyes glowed in the darkness. You are certain about this? Hanel asked. These soldiers are your enemies. They will capture us if they can. They will kill us if they cannot. I know, but they're just following orders. They don't deserve to die. Your compassion may be your downfall. Maybe. But it's who I am. The dragon made a sound like a sigh. Very well. I will do as you ask. But know this. If they try to kill you after I disable them, I will not hold back a second time. Fair enough. The Dominion ships were close now. 2 minutes away. Taeyang could see their weapons charging. Mina's voice came through the radio. I'm ready. Systems are isolated. Give the word. Taiyang watched the ships. They were spreading out, surrounding the Wanderer. No escape. Hanul, are you ready? Yes. Then do it, now. The dragon's body began to glow. Purple and blue light spread across its scales. Energy built around it, growing, stronger and stronger. The air itself seemed to shake. Then Hanul released it. A wave of pure electromagnetic energy exploded outward. It was invisible, but Taiyang could feel it. Like pressure against his suit. The wave hit the Dominion ships first. Their lights went out. All of them. At once. The ships went dark and started drifting. Then the wave hit the Wanderer. Everything stopped. The engines, the lights, the life support. Taiyang floated in complete darkness. His suit's systems were independent, so he was fine. But the ship was dead. "Mina!" he called. No answer. The radio was down too. He pulled himself along the hull to the airlock. It took forever. The manual release was hard to find in the dark. Finally, he got inside. The ship was silent, cold. Taiyang moved through it carefully. His suit light was the only illumination. He found Mina in the cockpit. She was already working by flashlight. Her hands were steady. "We have 3 minutes," she said. "Maybe less." "I don't know how long those ships will stay down. What can I do?" "Help Jiho restart the backup generator. It's in the cargo bay." Taiyang found Jiho in the dark. The alien was calm. Together they got to the generator. It was old and heavy. They had to turn a manual crank to start it. "This is primitive," Jiho said as they cranked. "Old ships need old solutions." The generator coughed, then hummed. Lights flickered on. Emergency power only, but it was something. "1 minute," Mina called. "I need more power." "Working on it," Taiyang shouted back. The generator was warming up, too slowly. Taiyang pushed harder on the crank. His arms burned. Jiho was gasping beside him. "Come on," Taiyang whispered. "Come on!" The generator roared to life. Full power. The lights came on. The engines started spinning up. "Got it!" Mina shouted. "We're alive! 30 seconds and we can jump!" Taiyang ran to the cockpit. Through the window, he saw something terrible. One of the Dominion ships was coming back online. Its weapons were charging. "They're faster than I thought," Mina said. "Can we jump?" "Not yet. 15 seconds. The Dominion ship fired. An energy bolt flew toward them. It hit the rear shield. The Wanderer shook. 10 seconds. Another bolt. This one missed. 5 seconds. The Dominion ship was getting closer. Taiyang could see its guns turning toward them. This next shot would hit. "Jump!" Space twisted. The stars vanished. They were gone. In the cargo bay, Hanul collapsed. The dragon had used too much energy. Taiyang ran to it. "Hanul!" The dragon's eyes opened slightly. "I am tired. Need to rest." "You did great." "Thank you." "Did it work? Are they disabled?" "Yes, all of them. We got away." "Good." The dragon's eyes closed. Its breathing slowed. It was asleep. Taiyang sat beside it. His whole body was shaking. They had done it. They had escaped without killing anyone. It felt right. Good. Jiho came into the cargo bay. The alien looked at Taiyang with something like respect. "You are either the luckiest person alive or the craziest. Why not both?" "That was too close." "I know." They flew for hours, jumping from system to system, always moving. Finally, they stopped in a remote nebula. Clouds of gas and dust surrounded them. It was safe here, hidden. Mina joined them in the cargo bay. She looked exhausted. "We need to talk about what's next. This was the first attack. There will be more." "I know. The Dominion won't give up. They'll send more ships. Bigger ships. They'll hunt us across the entire galaxy." "So what do we do?" Jiho asked. Taiyang thought about it. They could run forever. Hide in the shadows. But that was not living. That was just surviving. "We need to change the game," he said. "What does that mean?" Mina asked. Right now, we're prey. They're hunters. But what if we become something else? Like what? Like a symbol. Think about it. We freed a prisoner of the Dominion. We escaped their hunters without killing anyone. That's a story. That's hope. Hope for who? Jiho asked. For everyone who's afraid of the Dominion. Everyone who wants to fight back but doesn't know how. We show them it's possible. Mina shook her head. That's dangerous. If we become a symbol, we become a target. We're already a target. This would make it worse. Much worse. Taeyang knew she was right, but he also knew they could not just hide. They had to stand for something. What do you think? He asked Jiho. The alien was quiet for a moment. I think you are crazy, but I also think you might be right. The Dominion rules through fear. If people see that fear can be overcome, things will change. Hanul? Taeyang thought toward the sleeping dragon. The dragon's voice came back, weak but clear. I agree. My people died because we hid. We tried to stay out of the fight. It did not save us. Sometimes you must stand and face the darkness, even if it costs everything. Taeyang looked at Mina. So? She smiled. I said I was with you. I meant it. Let's show this galaxy what humans can do. What Wanderer crew can do, Taeyang corrected. We're not just humans anymore. We're something new. A crew bound by choice, Jiho said, remembering Hanul's words. Exactly. Outside the ship, the nebula swirled, beautiful and dangerous, just like the path ahead of them. But they were ready. Together they would face whatever came next. Word spread fast, too fast. Taeyang had not planned on becoming famous. But when they stopped at a neutral trading station for supplies, people recognized them. Someone had recorded the escape from the Dominion hunters. The footage showed the electromagnetic pulse, the disabled ships, the clean escape. Within days, the video was everywhere, every corner of the galaxy. People were talking about the human mechanic who freed a star dragon. About the crew that fought the Dominion without firing a single killing shot. This is a problem, Mina said. They were back on the Wanderer, planning their next move. Everyone knows our faces now. We can't hide anymore. Maybe we don't need to hide, Taeyang said. Jiho was checking the communications panel. The alien looked worried. You should see these messages. Hundreds of them. Some are from people thanking you, others are from people who want to join you, and some... Some what? Mina asked. Some are from other prisoners, people the Dominion has enslaved. They're asking for help. Taeyang felt his heart sink. How many? Too many. Dozens of messages. Maybe more. Hanul stirred in the cargo bay. The dragon had recovered its strength. It walked into the common area. Its massive form barely fit. I can feel them. My brothers and sisters, some still live. They are calling out. How many of your kind are left? Taeyang asked. 4, maybe 5. They are scattered across the empire, chained, suffering. They felt my freedom. Now they hope. Taeyang sat down. This was bigger than he had imagined. We can't save everyone. No, Hanul agreed, but we can save some. And that may be enough to start a change. Mina pulled up a star map. The Dominion is tightening their search. I'm tracking their fleet movements. They're pulling ships from the outer territories, concentrating them in the core systems. Why? Jiho asked. They're preparing. They know we're coming for the prisoners. Taeyang studied the map. Red markers showed Dominion fleet positions. There were so many. They're trying to trap us. Yes, Mina said. If we go after any of the known prisoners, we'll walk into an ambush. So what do we do? Jiho asked. Taeyang thought for a long moment. An idea was forming. Dangerous, maybe impossible, but it might work. What if we let them trap us? He said. Everyone stared at him. Explain, Mina said. They're expecting us to run in and try a rescue, but what if we choose the battleground? We pick a place where we have the advantage. We leak information about our location. Make them think we're vulnerable. Then when they attack, we spring our own trap. That's insane, Jiho said. Maybe, but they won't expect it. The Dominion is used to people running from them, not confronting them. Hanul's eyes glowed. I can feel one of my kind nearby. 3 systems from here. The Dominion is using them to power a weapons facility. If we could free them and disable the facility at the same time, we'd hurt the Dominion and save a life, Taeyang finished. Where is it? The Corvin system, a military installation, heavily guarded. Mina pulled up data on the system. This is suicide. They have 50 ships there. Maybe more. Even with Hanul's power, we can't fight that many. We don't fight them, Taeyang said. We disable them, just like before. The EMP trick won't work twice. They'll be prepared for it. Then we need something bigger. They spent the next 3 days planning. Taeyang worked on modifying the ship. He installed extra power cells, backup systems, everything they needed to survive a massive electromagnetic pulse. Jiho used their trading contacts to gather information about the Corvin facility. The alien had connections everywhere. Slowly, a picture formed. The facility was built into an asteroid. It created weapons for the Dominion fleet. At its core was a star dragon, chained and forced to channel energy into the weapons. The dragon's name was Suho. How do we free Suho without getting killed? Jiho asked. We get inside first, Taeyang said. Pretend we're delivering supplies. Once we're inside, we release Suho. Then both dragons generate the pulse. It'll be strong enough to disable every ship in the system. And the facility? Mina asked. We use the facility's own power against it. Overload the reactors. The whole place will shut down. That will cause an explosion, Jiho pointed out. A controlled one. We'll have time to evacuate the workers first. You want to evacuate the enemy? Jiho's voice was full of disbelief. They're not our enemies. They're just people doing a job. We're not killers, remember? Mina looked at the plan. This is the craziest thing we've ever done, and that's saying something. Will it work? Maybe, if everything goes perfectly, if nothing goes wrong, if the Dominion doesn't figure it out. So we have a chance. A small one. Taeyang looked at each of them. Mina, Jiho, Hanul, his crew, his family. I won't force anyone to do this. If you want out, I understand. Nobody moved. Mina spoke first. I'm in. You know that. Jiho nodded. You saved my life. I owe you. Besides, someone needs to keep you from getting killed. Hanul's voice was firm. Suho is my brother. I will not abandon him. We do this together. Taeyang felt emotion swell in his chest. Thank you. All of you. They prepared carefully. Taeyang sent a message through Jiho's contacts. A fake communication that made it seem like they were hiding in the Corvin system. The bait was set. Then they waited. 2 days later, the Dominion fleet arrived. 20 ships, all focused on finding the Wanderer. They began searching the asteroid field where the facility was located. They took the bait, Mina said. Now comes the hard part. They had registered as a supply ship. The Wanderer's fake ID said they were delivering medical supplies to the facility. It was a risk, but it was the only way inside. The facility gave them clearance. They docked without incident. Taeyang, Mina, and Jiho went inside. They wore simple worker uniforms. Hanul stayed hidden on the ship. The facility was huge, miles of corridors, thousands of workers, all building weapons for the Dominion. Where's the dragon? Taeyang whispered. Center of the facility, Jiho said, checking a stolen map. Deep underground, heavily guarded. They moved through the corridors. Taeyang's heart pounded. Any moment, someone might recognize them. But nobody did. They were just workers in a sea of workers. It took an hour to reach the central chamber. When they did, Taeyang's breath caught. Suho was magnificent, larger than Hanul. Its scales were silver and gold, but it was chained to a massive machine. Energy flowed from its body into the weapon systems. The dragon's eyes were closed. It looked exhausted, in pain. Guards stood everywhere, 30 at least. "How do we get past them?" Mina whispered. Taiyang smiled. "We don't." He walked right up to the lead guard. "I need to check the containment chains. Maintenance order." The guard looked at him suspiciously. "I didn't receive any orders." "Check your terminal. It came in this morning." While the guard checked, Taiyang moved closer to Suho. He placed his hand on one of the chains. "I choose to free you," he whispered. The chains glowed. The guard turned. "Hey, what are you—" The chains shattered. Suho's eyes opened. They were like fire. The dragon roared. It was a sound of rage and freedom mixed together. Alarms blared. Guards rushed forward. But Suho moved faster. The dragon did not hurt them. It simply pushed them aside with gentle force. No violence. No death. "Hanul!" Taiyang shouted into his communicator. "Now!" On the ship, Hanul heard the call. The dragon flew into the facility. Alarms were screaming. Ships were scrambling. But it was too late. Both dragons began to glow. Purple and silver light filled the chamber. Energy built. More than before, much more. "Everyone needs to evacuate," Taiyang shouted. "This facility is going to overload. You have 5 minutes." The workers panicked, but they listened. They ran for the exits. Taiyang, Mina, and Jiho helped them, making sure everyone got out. Outside, the Dominion fleet realized what was happening. They tried to stop it. Their ships closed in. The dragons released the pulse. It was like a wave of invisible force. It spread across the entire system. Every ship went dark. Every system failed. The facility's power core overloaded. Explosions rippled through the asteroid. But by then, everyone was out. Safe. The Wanderer, protected by its shielding, came to life. Taiyang and the crew rushed aboard. Both dragons flew alongside them. "Jump coordinates locked," Mina said. "Let's get out of here." They jumped just as the facility exploded. A massive ball of fire lit up space, but nobody died. The workers had escaped. The Dominion soldiers were alive, just stranded. In the cargo bay, Suho looked at Taiyang. The dragon's voice was like thunder. "You freed me, saved the workers, defeated the Dominion without killing. How?" "By choosing to care," Taiyang said, "even about our enemies." Suho bowed its great head. "I understand now why Hanul follows you. You have a power greater than any weapon. You have compassion, and compassion human can change the galaxy." The explosion at Corvin was seen across the galaxy. Not just the physical explosion, but what it represented. The Dominion had been challenged, and they had lost. Messages flooded in, thousands of them, people from every corner of space. Some thanked Taiyang, others called him a terrorist. But everyone was talking about what happened. The Galactic Council called for an emergency session. They wanted to investigate. They wanted answers. Most importantly, they wanted to meet the human who had freed 2 star dragons and disabled an entire Dominion fleet. "They're summoning us," Mina said. She was reading the official message. "The council wants us to appear before them." "It's a trap," Jiho said. "The Dominion controls half the council. They'll arrest you the moment you arrive." But Hanul disagreed. "No, this is an opportunity. The council must appear fair. If they arrest us without hearing our story, they lose credibility. They need to listen." "What do you think?" Taiyang asked Mina. She thought for a moment. "I think we should go. But we go prepared. We tell our story. Show them what we've done. Let the galaxy decide who's right." 2 weeks later, they arrived at the council station. It was a massive structure. Neutral territory, no weapons allowed. Representatives from 100 species gathered there to debate galactic law. The Wanderer docked. Taiyang wore his cleanest clothes. Mina and Jiho flanked him. The 2 dragons waited outside. They were too large for the station. Inside the council chamber, hundreds of beings watched them. Taiyang recognized some species. Others were completely alien to him. At the center sat the council members. 12 of them, representatives of the most powerful civilizations. One of them spoke, a tall alien with 4 arms. "You are Taiyang, the human who freed prisoners of the Dominion Empire." "Yes. You are accused of theft, destruction of property, and endangering civilian lives. How do you plead?" Taiyang stood straight. "Not guilty." Murmurs filled the chamber. Another council member spoke. This one was clearly from a Dominion world. "You freed a military asset, a star dragon chained by law. You destroyed a facility worth billions. You disabled fleet ships. These are acts of war." "With respect," Taiyang said, "I freed a living being who was enslaved. I disabled a facility that forced that being to create weapons. I protected workers who were in danger. These are acts of mercy." "Mercy?" The Dominion representative laughed. "You speak of mercy while destroying our property? A person is not property. The star dragons were legally acquired. You cannot legally acquire a person." Taiyang's voice rose. "The dragons are intelligent. They think, they feel, they choose. You chained them and forced them to fight. That's not law. That's slavery." The chamber erupted. Some beings shouted in agreement, others in anger. The head counselor called for order. "Let him speak," said a small alien near the end of the table. "We called him here to hear his side. Let us hear it." Taiyang took a breath. Then he told them everything. How he found Hanul chained to his ship. How the dragon had suffered for 300 years. How he chose to free it, knowing the consequences. How they escaped without killing anyone. How they freed Suho and evacuated the workers before the facility exploded. "Every step of the way," Taiyang said. "We chose compassion. We could have killed the soldiers, the guards, the workers, but we didn't. Because they're not our enemies. The system is our enemy. A system that allows slavery. A system that values property over life." The small alien spoke again. "You are human, yes? From Earth?" "Yes. I have studied your people. You have a saying, something about rights, inalienable rights." "All people are created equal," Taiyang said. "They have certain rights that cannot be taken away. Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness." Beautiful words. Do you believe the star dragons have these rights? Yes. All intelligent beings do. Even your enemies? Especially my enemies. That's what makes us different. We don't deny rights to people we disagree with. The Dominion representative stood. "This is absurd. The dragons are dangerous. They must be controlled. If we free them, they will destroy us." "That's not true," Taiyang said. "Hanul and Suho have incredible power. They could destroy this station right now if they wanted, but they don't. Because they choose peace. They only want freedom." "Let the dragons speak," the head counselor said. "Let us hear from them." The chamber went silent. Then Hanul's voice filled everyone's minds. Not just Taiyang's, everyone's. "I am Hanul. I have lived for 3,000 years. I have seen empires rise and fall. I have watched species grow wise or grow cruel. The Dominion chose cruelty. They hunted my kind, enslaved us, killed those who resisted. For what? Power, control. They feared what they could not dominate." Suho's voice joined in. "I was chained for 200 years. I powered weapons that killed millions. I had no choice. Every day I felt those deaths, the weight of them, the guilt, and I could do nothing. But then this human came," Hanul continued. "A simple mechanic, nobody special by galactic standards. He had no army, no fleet, no power. But he had something more important. He had compassion. He chose to free me, knowing it would cost him everything. And in that choice, He showed the galaxy something it had forgotten. "What's that?" the small alien asked. "That power comes from choice, not force. That change comes from compassion, not conquest. That one person, making one right choice, can start a revolution." The chamber was silent. Many beings were crying. Even some who supported the Dominion looked troubled. The Dominion representative tried to speak. "This is manipulation. The dragons are using telepathy to influence us." "No," the small alien said. "I feel no manipulation, only truth and pain. 300 years of pain, 200 years of pain. Can you imagine that, representative? Can you imagine being chained for centuries?" The Dominion representative sat down. He had no answer. The head counselor stood. "We will vote. The question before us is simple. Are star dragons people with rights, or are they property to be owned?" The vote took hours. Debates raged. But slowly, a consensus formed. When the final count came in, it was clear. By a vote of 8-4, the head counselor announced, "The Galactic Council recognizes star dragons as sentient beings with full rights under galactic law. All existing claims of ownership are void. All chained dragons must be freed immediately." The chamber erupted in cheers and protests, but the decision was made. The Dominion representative stood. "The Empire will not accept this. We will not free our assets." "Then you will face consequences," the head counselor said. "Economic sanctions, trade embargoes, isolation. The galaxy has spoken." Over the next months, things changed. The Dominion fought the decision at first, but pressure from other civilizations was too strong. One by one, the remaining dragons were freed. 4 more survived. They reunited with Hanul and Suho. Taeyang watched them fly together in space. 6 dragons, the last of their kind. They were free now, truly free. But the changes did not stop there. Other species who had been enslaved by various empires began to fight for their freedom. The story of the human mechanic inspired them. They saw that change was possible, that compassion could win. The Galactic Council created new laws, protection for sentient beings, rights that could not be taken away. It was not perfect. Some civilizations still resisted. But it was a start. Taeyang and his crew became ambassadors. They traveled the galaxy, helping to negotiate peaceful solutions. Mina became skilled at diplomacy. Jiho used trading connections to build economic bridges between worlds. The dragons protected the weak and stopped conflicts before they became wars. One day, Taeyang stood on Earth, his home world. He had not been back in years. The blue sky amazed him. After so long in space, he had forgotten how beautiful it was. Hanul landed beside him. The dragon looked at the mountains in the distance. "This is a good world." "Yes, your people did something special here. You created the idea that all people have rights, that compassion matters. That idea changed my life. Now it is changing the galaxy." "We're not perfect," Taeyang said. "Humans make mistakes. We fight. We hurt each other sometimes. All species do, but you also try to be better. You choose to improve. That is what matters. Not perfection, but the choice to try." Mina and Jiho joined them. Behind them, other crew members approached. Over time, the Wanderer's crew had grown. People from a dozen species. All of them had chosen to join because they believed in what Taeyang represented. "What now?" Mina asked. "We've changed galactic law. We've freed the dragons. What's next?" Taeyang smiled. "Whatever comes next, there's always more work to do, more people to help, more wrongs to right." "And you're going to keep doing it?" Jiho asked. "Even though you could retire, be comfortable?" "Yes, because this is who we are. We choose to care, every day, in every situation. That's our power." Hanul's voice was warm. "The galaxy called you a mechanic, but you are so much more. You are a bridge, between species, between old ways and new. You showed us that change does not require violence. It requires choice. I didn't do it alone, Taiyang said. He looked at his crew, his family. We did it together. Suho flew overhead with the other dragons. They called down in joy. Free, alive, together. Come, Hanel said. There is a distress call from the outer rim. Pirates attacking a refugee ship. They need help. Then let's help them, Taiyang said. The crew boarded the Wanderer. The old ship hummed to life. It had been upgraded over time. New systems, better shields. But it was still the same ship at its core. Still home. As they flew into space, Taiyang looked at the stars. Somewhere out there, people needed help. And the Wanderer crew would be there. Not with weapons or threats, but with compassion, with choice, with the belief that everyone deserved freedom. The galaxy had changed, but the work was not done. It would never be done. Because there would always be someone who needed help, someone who needed to see that compassion was stronger than cruelty. That choice was more powerful than force. And as long as there were people like Taiyang and his crew, beings who chose to care, even when it cost them everything, there was hope. The Wanderer jumped to hyperspace. The stars became lines, and somewhere in the vastness of the galaxy, a new story was beginning. A story of a crew that chose compassion. A story that would echo for generations. A story that proved once and for all that humanity's greatest strength was not technology or weapons or power. It was the simple choice to care. And that choice changed everything.